French President Emmanuel Macron has confirmed the return of 26 artifacts to Benin Republic, which was stolen by French troops from the Royal Treasure House of Abomey in 1892. After viewing the pieces at the Coy Branly Museum in Paris, Macron said African youth should not be denied access to their own history. Benin's Foreign Minister Aurelie Agbenonsi also attended the museum ceremony and said the two countries had turned a new page in their relations. Earlier on Wednesday, Britain returned to Nigeria a statue of a bronze cockerel looted from the Kingdom of Benin during the colonial era. I am now being joined on the news by a member of Edo State Diaspora Steering Committee, Dr. Loretta Oduware Ogboro-Okor. Hello, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so let's go straight to it. How did we get to this point? Who are the major players that have worked hard to make this happen?
I think everyone, that's the answer to that. Everyone in their own unique way has worked. Everyone on the African continent, everyone who has a link to any of these artifacts, irrespective of the country that they are in. But if you zone down to the Edo states and especially the ancient Benin Kingdom artifact, I think the move has started even since 1960 when Nigeria got independent. And if I'm being honest, from the very first day they were taken, the people wanted their things back. You can't come to my house and take what is most pleasurable, what gives me the most joy, and then we don't try to get it back.
Right.
But in the public space, I think some of the things that have happened, like Black Lives Matter, like the film by Lancelot Oduware, Invasion 1897, all of these things have whipped up public sentiment. And obviously, the royal house, the Oba of Benin, successively till now, Omonoba Nedo Kwakolokbolo, our Obaiware Odidiga, and the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Noyerase Obaseki. Everyone has worked in their own way. The average Benin man, the average Edo State man and woman, they have worked in their unique ways.
Right. Now, Dr. Loretta, what does this mean for the development, culture, and confidence of the average Benin, Edo, Nigerian, and African?
It's important because we travel. I have been in the diaspora for years now. And you come into these Western nations, and the truth is that you are made to feel like a second-class citizen who is almost coming from maybe, in quote, a jungle. But with these kind of things, these artifacts, we now know that our ancestors, many years ago, mastered the art of creating these precious things, the art of metallurgy in bronze, in steel. You know, we now know these things, and you work with your head high. You can't steal from me and make me feel like a second-class citizen. This is why this history needs to be taught. This is why our children coming behind us need to know, because it gives you that extra confidence to say, anywhere I am in the world, nobody can make me feel second-class. You can steal from me. It means I have something that you want, you know? And secondly, when you know where you are coming from, when you know your roots, then you actually do know where you are going to. And in terms of when people go to the Benin Museum, they don't see these things there. But you go out, you come to England and you see there. There's some sort of thing that does to the psyche. It makes you feel, these things should have been mine, okay? But now they are here. I need to own them. I need to have them. And once you have them, you get a satisfaction. And across the African continent, it just goes to epitomize the movement that started with Black Lives Matter. These things matter. Unlike the lady who is the head of the Jesus College at Cambridge said, she said it is morally just to return these things to where they belong to. It is. It just gives the people that narrative. They own their own stories. You know, they can push their own self forward. That glass ceiling is being broken. People think these things are simple, but they are symbolic. The glass ceilings are being broken. These children coming up are seeing that they're not just relegated to being athletes or singers. They can do different things. They can make the world stand still.
Right. You talked about pushing our own narrative. Now, how does this contribute to pushing our narrative and showcasing our cultural heritage?
Yesterday, I was watching the Comrade show, and they were talking about these artifacts as well. And then I went on to BBC, and they were talking about these artifacts as well. And then a colleague called me from work and said, "Oh, Loretta, the name of your place where you come from is everywhere on the news." And then I went and Googled it. Now, she said, "I never knew that that place existed. I never knew they owned all of these things." I didn't need to tell her, but all of the news, all of the conversations that has been kickstarted is what has prompted her to go and search out this part of the world, and she has become better enlightened. Simply put, the narrative of my people has just been pushed by people having all of these conversations. So we cannot stop. We have to keep having these conversations. And unbeknown to us, a lot of things have been written about our history as Black people, as people from Edo State, as people from the African continent that were not written by us. So we are actually taking other people's expression of us, and people are believing that and beginning to live that. And if I just quote Chinua Achebe when he said that until and unless the lion begins to rise, the hunter will begin to give his own version of the hunt. So it is important, and this is how we are pushing the cultural narrative. What you are doing this morning, what we are doing this morning, is part of pushing this cultural narrative so that people know what they have.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta. It's nice having you here once again.
Thank you for having me.